Terence Bud Crawford. So about 81 days ago, Terence Crawford became the undisputed super middleweight champion. That's 168 pounds when he defeated Canelo Alvarez at Allegiant Stadium on Netflix. Well, it wasn't as short as when Alexander Usyk became undisputed champion after defeating Tyson Fury and the IBF took their title away. But it's just a little bit later. Here comes the WBC saying we're taking away our version of that belt, our piece of the pie. There it is, courtesy of uncrown.com, the number one unbiased combat sports platform in the world. Terence Crawford stripped of WBC title over sanctioning fees. A dispute between the WBC and their president, Mauricio Sulaiman, and one Terence Crawford. Sulaiman at the convention in Bangkok. There was a WBC convention over in Bangkok announcing that they are stripping him because Terence Crawford has not paid his dues. That's what you have to do. You have to pay the sanctioning bodies. And this is what TKO is saying. Why do you have to pay them? Don't pay them. Don't adhere to their crazy rules. Well, Mauricio Sulaiman spoke to BoxingScene.com and explained why they felt like they had to do that. Here's what he had to say.
He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
In the midst of all of this, Terence Crawford went on X, aka Twitter, was a part of a massive tweet storm talking about all kinds of things. He did go on his Instagram, though, in case you were wondering how he felt about the WBC taking away their super middleweight title. And by the way, they ordered a bout between Hamza Shiraz and Christian Mbili, my guy, straight out of Montreal, which is not a bad fight at all, honestly. And who knows if it actually gets made. I would love to see that fight. Terence is the man at 168. He just beat Canelo, won that title fair and square. Anyway, here's Terence Crawford on Instagram kind of reacting to all of this. Great stuff.
But do y'all see them, though? Do y'all see them, though? Y'all see them, though? And I'm missing two. Still in the plastic, don't worry about it. Y'all see them, though? Undisputed. Undisputed. That's Canelo right there, guys. That's Canelo right there. That's Spence right there. That's Ndongo right there. They just didn't put him on there. Undisputed. See them ring belts? See them ring belts? Yeah. Yeah. Got another.
He doesn't seem too bothered. Yasidemdo. Yasidemdo. Doesn't seem too bothered by the whole situation. So there's Terence Crawford, and I suspect we'll see him back. And he has reached a point where it doesn't really matter what belt he's holding. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport, certainly one of the biggest stars fighting out of North America. I don't think he's going to be bothered. And this is what Zuffa is trying to say. Like, these sanctioning fees, all this stuff, this is antiquated, this is old. The fighters shouldn't be doing it. Come over here on this side of the fence. Come over here, and we'll do things our way, and you can fight for our title. Earlier in the day, we spoke about Terence Crawford being stripped of the WBC title. Well, he has also taken to Instagram to add further commentary, further thoughts to the situation. Here's a snippet of what he had to say while driving as well.
I see Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
So he had a lot to say there. I think the video was like 8 or so minutes. You know, when I first heard about this yesterday, the first thing I thought, given his relationship with the TKO brass, I was like, oh, for sure they're going to say, like, look, this is exactly what we're talking about. Fighters, don't adhere to these rules, don't pay these fees, like, don't do it, don't fall for it. And then I see in the middle of the show, Nick Khan is on Pat McAfee's show kind of saying the exact same thing, saying that, like, look, this is a perfect example as to why. I think the quote was something like, what was the quote? I saw it here moments ago. Golly, I saw it. Does anyone have it? There was
the quote is, what we're looking to do with the Muhammad Ali Revival Act is presenting a different option for boxers. We'll have our own ranking systems, and the champion will fight the #1 contender. Let's do things in a credible way. So they're trying to like organize it in a way that, you know, there's one singular belt, there's a ranking system, UFC style.
Here's the specific quote. I saw that one too, and I want to bring that one up in a moment, but he said, quote, Terence Crawford had an amazing effort against Canelo, and he unanimously won that championship. How is it that 2 months later he's not the champion because he didn't pay a fee? It's only in the sport of boxing that we see nonsense like this. And he is right to a degree. Now that quote is regarding, you know, matchmaking and whatnot. And I couldn't help but see a cheeky little New York Rick quote tweet that with what? Quote, the champion will fight the #1 contender just like in the UFC, and then a picture of Gaethje, Pimblett, and Volkanovski Lopez too. So, you know, this is the way it's going to go. It's going to be very interesting. And if you think that the drama as far as title contenders and belts is strictly an MMA/UFC problem, it's not. It's been a boxing problem forever, and it's a UFC MMA problem. It's a combat sports thing. And to a degree, I will just say, there's a fun part of it because you sit around and debate and have these arguments and all this stuff, and it gives us fodder. And there's obviously a frustrating part as well because you do want to see the best fight the best, especially when it comes to the UFC, when there's no other outside influences factoring into these decisions. There's no sanctioning by this, like, no, the mandatory is that guy who has nothing to do with the top 5. Or no, we need you to pay these fees. Like, it's literally them controlling their own rankings, controlling their own belt, and having to listen to no one. So you would hope that given that model and system, there would be no nonsense. But it doesn't quite work like that. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.